I'm host LK, joined by Brad. Brad, can you hear me? Are we actually fucking working right now?
We are, yeah, and I'm just loving the "Where are you now?" That theme was very welcoming.
Well, were you a
Yeah,
fan of the introduction? Did the introduction get you a bit giggity?
it does. Yeah, it just reminds me of like a really famous song. I don't know what it's called. "Where are you now?" It plays it in all the clubs. Justin Bieber, which is which is great. Yeah, so it just reminds me of that, and it's yeah, that's it's move on. But yeah, I could tell it's royalty free version of that,
Oh
which is
yeah, it's got
brilliant.
to be royalty free. That's how we live. That's how we live and how we rock and roll. Is loyalty free. That's how we do it here. I want to welcome everyone if you're listening on whatever podcast platform you're listening on, whether you're listening on Podbean. If you're listening live, welcome.
Mm.
Also, if you're watching on YouTube, whether you're listening on whatever it is you're watching, this is your AEW Revolution 2021 show review. Looking forward to breaking this bad boy
Is it mad
down.
that I've actually got news for this as well?
Is this Uncle Dave news? Because I hope you ain't going to ruin the Wrestling Observer radio show. I've got it downloaded. And now hear me
No.
out, Brad. I've over the weekend I treated myself. I treated myself to something very nice. I
Mm.
treated myself to a Google Doc. Now we've got one in every room apart from my room. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to go down to Tesco's. I need to pick myself up some work shoes. So I got myself some work shoes. And then I went down the technology section upstairs, went up the escalator, nearly shat my pants.
Do you
And
mean a
I
Google
picked
Home?
myself up. Yeah, yeah, no. We already got the Google Home thing. It's like a tablet thing, and there's already
Oh,
Google Doc in
Google,
a kitchen.
because Google Doc to me is like what I use for Word. Google Docs.
Ah, Google,
I've
yeah,
probably
yeah,
figured.
Google Mini thing. It's like a mini thing. It's like white with grey.
Home
It's
Mini.
all fancy.
Home Mini.
Yeah, Google Mini thing. So I got it on there, and I put it on, and I put it on my room because there's one in the lounge, one in the kitchen, one in the bathroom, and my mate had one, and I was like, I want to have one. I want to be able to, sit back, relax, and enjoy my music in my room in a good quality speaker. So I bought one and listened to this afternoon after I got back from work. I listened to some Wrestling Observer streaming on the Google Doc full blast. Living the
It's good, isn't
dream,
it?
that is. Living the dream. Listen to the Brian and Vinny show I did. That's a fucking rarity, eh?
Yeah.
Who would have fucking ever thought?
Hmm.
Anyway,
Yeah.
win loss
So
tie. What are we saying? Win loss
lost.
tie for this show.
Lost. The bits in it were good, but it just this was the worst AEW show I've ever seen, and it's not great to come on saying that, but there was so much wrong with this show that just made me feel meh watching it.
Really? You were like
Yeah,
proper not interested in the show?
I wasn't. No, and I wish I was. So the main event was, well, essentially what it was they basically said that a load of stuff would happen. That was this big amazing stuff, and it didn't happen. So it just sucked the life out of me. I was like, oh, I wonder who this surprise is going to be. Oh, it's. Oh. I wonder what this explosion is going to be like. Oh, it's. Oh, so I just had that reaction all the way through it. Now, the one highlight for me was that Sting thing because that was pretty cool. The like in ring vignette thing, and the actual matches themselves were good. It's just that I don't know, just a lot of like I was expecting like a world changing debut coming here from the way Big Show was speaking, or Paul White was speaking, and it just didn't deliver that. I don't think. I don't know.
So you weren't happy with the lack of surprise?
No, I'm not happy with the fact that they promoted something to happen and it didn't happen.
What bit? Because they said a Hall of Fame worthy wrestler who Tony Khan was a fan of when he was younger is
Christian.
going to sign with the company. He fucking did.
Yeah.
Christian Cage is a Hall of Fame worthy wrestler. Is he?
Do
Is
you
he
know what
not?
I
They
thought it was
delivered
going to
everything
be?
they put in the tin.
Yeah.
If you
Do you
say
know who I thought
CM
it was going
Punk,
to be?
I'm gonna remove you
No,
from the call.
Brock Lesnar.
Well, that's not. It's not Tony's fault that your fucking expectations were unrealistic.
They're the ones that said it was this big thing, and I was like, oh my god, yes. And then it was like, oh, it's Christian. I mean, Christian's not bad, but I wouldn't say he's a game-changing Hall of Famer.
Well, I think he's a great deal. He did a lot for TNA back in the day.
Exactly, and that's my problem. It's turning into TNA a little bit, I think.
Oh no, maybe it's I'm biased because I have a little soft spot for TNA. That like especially in, I mean, '08 was when I started watching on the old BT Vision box. It was always on demand, so I always used to watch it every
Mhm.
week. And they had the pay-per-views up there for free as well, which was such a win. But I, for one, really fucking enjoyed it. I thought it was a really, really good show. Um, Lots of good matches, in my opinion. Some good stories I'm looking forward to. Maybe I was being a bit biased because I was in a good mood watching it, but I'm very, very surprised. Very,
Didn't the main
very
event kind
surprised.
of? It was written well, but didn't the main event, the ending of it, kind of feel a bit flat though? That explosion. I've seen more fireworks at a blooming download festival event. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but
There's
that wasn't their
it was.
fault.
I was expecting this big. No, but at the same time, like I hope they do write it into a storyline because, well, the main bit was when Eddie Kingston was selling it. He was overselling it for what it was, and he like pretended he was knocked out when it was just like a bunch of pyro going off, like what they would during an entrance. And I'm not complaining too much because when they hit the ring ropes in it, it looked kind of cool. But it's just when it at the end, it just felt like a bit flat. And it's you don't. What I'm going to say is the last image of a pay per view shouldn't be it's flat. It should be this is great. I can't wait for next week. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I get that. I do get that. I don't know. Maybe I'm a bit biased because I'm really, really enjoying AEW at the minute. But we'll get down to breaking down the show. We've already done 7 minutes, and so far we talked about a Tesco's trip, Brock Lesnar coming to All Elite Wrestling, etc., etc. Let's get down to the show. So we had the buy-in, which Dr. Britt Baker and Maki Ito defeated Riho and Thunder Rosa in a tag
Who's
match.
this Maki Ito? I feel like you need
Sorry.
to educate me. You watch this. You watch these Japanese stuff. Who is Maki
Yeah, I
Ito?
actually watched quite a lot of the Japanese brackets of the World Title Eliminator that they did on the women's, and they uploaded on YouTube and BR Live. I actually really really enjoyed it.
So
To the
break it
point where
down
I
to
got
me.
into it to the
It was
point where I started
just
watching Star Wars.
yeah. Star Wars. No, it's just that when I was watching it, it was like this. Do you know what J-pop is?
Yes,
Like
yes.
baby metal kind of stuff. Oh, God, I sound so uneducated. So basically, she came out and she started doing this like little song thing. Um,
Yeah, that's what she's
that
always done.
yeah, but I've never seen her before. So she just came out and started doing this little dance, and I was just like, "What's this? This is fun." And then the match happened, and it was a good match, but I just didn't know who the hell she was. Like, do you want to
Well,
educate me?
she
Who
is
did she
she's
wrestle for? Has she had a good career or?
she is one very over young lady. Everyone on the interwebs
Mm.
is a huge fan of Maki Ito, and it's one of those kind of internet darling type wrestlers. She wrestles for
All right.
Tokyo Joshi Pro, which is a DDT affiliate. So basically, she wrestles for I don't want to offend anyone, but Tokyo Joshi Pro is under the Wrestle Universe umbrella. So it's kind of you got DDT, Tokyo Joshi Pro, Gamba Pro, all kind of part of its own kind of network, and even it has its own streaming service. So Tokyo Joshi Pro is very accessible for anyone who actually wants to get into it. It's a good
Mm.
time, but they do acts like that, and a lot of Joshi wrestling is that like dancing, singer. But she's actually a former pop star.
Oh, like a not K-pop, J-pop sort of
I mean,
style.
I'm
Then I'm guessing.
assuming so. From what I gather, she did actually um, was a singer. I'm assuming because she's
I
got a
think,
lovely voice.
yeah, I think this is something that Dave Kokotis
Yeah,
might know
she's
a
in
bit
an
more than
idol
us.
group. Yeah,
Yeah, I
she's
think
in an idol group
okay.
called Toki Wokiru. There we are. Fun
Toki
fact for you
Woki
boys.
Roo.
Yeah, and
Oh
that
yeah,
wasn't me being
I'm gonna.
racist in any way.
What's Toki Woki Roo's best album?
Oh, dude,
I'll get
like I
onto it.
listened to it. I said she's got a good voice. Don't mean I listened to the thing. You know, I feel I'm being nice
Yeah.
by letting her fucking sing in front of me, and I watch it and I praise it. I'm not gonna fucking go buy her album. If anyone wants to
Uh,
support the girl, go buy her album.
go listen to Toki Woki Do and tell us we sent you. But yeah, I don't as I said I didn't know much about her, but she looked kind of cool. I'm surprised she was made into a bad guy though. Like she's
Yeah, but that's
just
her
like
character. She's kind of like this Healy. cool
A
character.
character. I was just watching it. I didn't know who she was. I was just watching it. Like, oh my god, this like really cute, like young, pop starry sort of person is coming out. You know, a lot of girls are like this, especially Asian and that kind of thing. Like I thought she was quite big, and I was like, oh, she's got quite a big crossover appeal. People would love her on this, and then she turns out to be a bad guy, and I was like, I mean, it's interesting to bring a character like that in because you'd always think someone that's a bit singing and a bit dancing would be like Brodus Clay. He was singing and dancing, wasn't he? And he was a good guy, so and he was doing that. So I don't know. I don't know how well it translates, but like, I'm going to give that a chance. That was actually quite a good match. If you get a chance to watch that, it's on YouTube for free as well. So you don't actually have to buy the pay per view. You should buy the pay per view, but you don't have to buy the pay per view to watch that match.
Absolutely, everyone go check it out. And then we went to the first match of the night. We had the Young Bucks defeating the Inner Circle, Chris Jericho and MJF in just under 18 minutes, and a fun way to kick off the show. This was I really enjoyed it. A finish came when, if my memory serves me correctly, normally I take notes when I watch, especially when we do our 25 years ago series. When I watch current day product, I try not to take notes if possible because I try and enjoy it. But considering I'm actually going to be covering this stuff now, I really realistically should start taking notes when I start watching this stuff.
No,
But the Bucks,
I don't.
yeah, there's nothing wrong. It's nothing wrong with not taking notes. I mean, when I used to do it, I never took notes. So then I started taking notes, and my mind was blown. I actually remembered things. But they got the woman, the Meltzer driver, for our boy Uncle Dave, Uncle Davey boy. That was for you. They got the win there. Yeah, it was a good way to kick off the show. I'm glad they kicked off because they did announce beforehand that they were going to kick off with the fucking Miro and Kip Sabian against Best Friends, which thank fuck they didn't do that because I'm glad they kicked off. Great way to kick off the show. Big important match, especially when the next match was the Casino
Royal
Tag
Rumble.
Team Royale. Yeah, so I'm glad they kicked off the show in that way. I enjoyed it. If I have to go on the star rating system, I'd go 3.5, maybe 4. What was your opinion on the excellent tag title match?
Yeah, I'd say the same 3.5. I thought this was so. The show started off strongly. In fairness, when I was shitting on it, so the first couple of matches were exceptional. This was an exceptional match as well. The Young Bucks. I don't think have the Young Bucks ever done a bad match. I don't think I've ever seen it. I'm yet to anyway. But yeah, they were good in this. Jericho and MJF. I love MJF anyway because he's a big cocky bastard and he's great. I love him for that. And yeah, the four work well off each other. It's a shame that the Young Bucks are still champions because I'd love to see a Chris Jericho and MJF reign at some point. But I guess now's not the right time. We have got Double or Nothing coming up there, so maybe then. But yeah, they're gonna do a thing next week, aren't they? As well, this week. Sorry, on Wednesday, an Inner Circle discussion because they lost this match.
Yeah, and
Reshape
I
the Inner Circle.
yeah, kind of a talk about the future. They called it like a band camp or something along those lines. I'm looking forward to it though. I always enjoy those. Always enjoy the Inner Circle type roundtable discussions because they're always really entertaining. Because Jericho on the mic is magnificent, MJF on the mic is magnificent, and Tito and Ortiz, they do Santana and Ortiz, sorry, are really good. So yeah, it is what it is. But the match itself was good, and obviously this will lead us to our Casino Tag Team Royale for a future AEW World Tag Team Championship match. You had Rey Fenix, who was representing Death Triangle with Pac, defeating Jungle Boy in the finale in a really fucking fun match, man. I wasn't expecting to enjoy this as much as I did, but damn me rotten. I really dug this. This was really fucking good, man.
It's just a Royal Rumble. That's all it is. It's a really quick Royal Rumble, a 30-minute Royal Rumble, and are you going to complain at that? I thought it was brilliant.
Yeah, it was. I thought it was.
There was 30 people in the match as well, so it's literally a very short Royal Rumble that we watched. So yeah, I was I was expecting it to be good, and it was good. So yeah, well.
Yeah, well played on them, and I loved when I thought at the end when Jungle Boy eliminated Pac, and you're like, oh my god, is he going to do the upset? And then Phoenix finally dumped him out. But it was really good. The pacing was great. Blake and Blade look really good. You had loads of guys that went in there looking great. Sorry,
he's in a band. The Butcher from Butcher and the Blades in a band called Every Time I Die.
every time I die, does it go like "Wah, wah, wah"?
Pretty much. I've loved them for years. Yes, they're one of those bands. Yeah, he's the vocalist. The guy with the hench tattoos and like the massive mustache.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
wouldn't
yeah, no,
mess
no,
with him
yeah,
and he'd
yeah. I
go
know who the
screaming
chap
on
he
it.
is. I can picture him screaming. Have you watched on Netflix the show
Mm.
called The Hotel in Cecil? The Cecil Hotel.
Yes,
That's
on
what it's called.
the
The Cecil Hotel.
Morbid. Morbid, you're on about the blooming black metal musician that they all said did the murder in it,
Yeah,
and
he
he didn't
kind of
do
scared
anything.
me away from rock music. Not gonna lie, that show shat me the fuck up.
But he didn't do anything. He
Yeah, I
literally
know he
didn't do
didn't do
anything.
it. I know he didn't do anything, but the way they portrayed him was he did, and it fucking scared the living daylights out of me.
I loved him. No, I
Don't
stand with
recommend
Morbid.
watching that show alone. Don't recommend watching that show alone.
I love this type of stuff. So yes, well, I love rats as well as if you listen to the rat podcast. So yes, I'm gonna love stuff like that. But yeah, no, it's good. You know, some big stars in there as well, like Matt Sydal, Christopher Daniels. You know, all you know, the evil Dark Order faction was good. But yeah, I've got to admit though. Jungle Boy's theme by Baltimore. I don't know if you've ever heard the actual song before, with his entrance music,
No.
but it just that made me pumped. But right, well, listen back when he's next in a match, and he's got like the best entrance theme out of anyone in the company. It's an old song by a band called Baltimore called Tyson Boy. I was hoping that Jungle Boy would win this match, and they did it in a way where if this was WWE, that he would have. I'm glad that they kind of swerved us a bit by not having him win. It kind of it kind of messed with me though because I was expecting him to win and he didn't. I thought that was quite clever. Do you know what I mean? From the way it was like a 2-on-1 attack at the end.
Yeah, because it came across as okay, cool. Jungle Boy's going to get this big victory, and he's going to become
And
over
then
for him.
Ray
But that didn't
finishes
happen. But I
like
thought
so.
he did look great in defeat though, because you can win in defeat, and he did look really really good in defeat. So I'm not going to kind of
That's
come on and
something
criticize it.
WWE don't do. That's something WWE don't do. Though I will say that. I know you can't say this kind of stuff, but I will. They would either make him win or make him look like the biggest loser ever. In this company, they somehow made him lose, but did it in a way that still made him look strong, which was kind of cool. So big up them for that.
Yeah, 100%. They did a really good job, and it was really fun. I recommend watching that. And then we had Akira Shida defeating Ryu Mizunami in
Right,
a singles
this is
match.
another person you're gonna have to tell me who the hell it is. Who the hell is Ryu Mizunami?
Ah, right. So she was on the Japanese side of the women's world title eliminator. She won in the final, defeating Yukio Sakazaki, which was a really good match available on their YouTube channel, by the way, everyone. And it was just a really really fun match here. Shida is another one. I'm
So
not
how
a
is
big
she? Because
Joshi
she's
guy.
been in
I'm
it a
I'm
while,
really
hasn't
not
she?
a Joshi guy, man. You're asking the wrong dude. I'm not a big Joshi guy. I literally just watched the Women's World Championship Eliminator. I knew of Ito because I have watched Tokyo Joshi Pro because it's part of the DDT Universe subscription, which I was a subscriber for a very very long time. So I have seen her before, but lots of these women, in all due respect to them, I have not seen before. If this was fucking, and this is not me being sexist because Wrestling Inc. are getting a lot of shtick for being sexist. It's not me choosing not watching lots of Joshi wrestling because I don't want to. It's just I don't choose to watch it because I already have so much to fucking cover.
I don't
You know,
watch Japanese wrestling at all, really. So my knowledge is very. I watch New Japan because everyone goes on about that, like Cultaholic going about that kind of stuff. But like this is just everything else in it. It's not really mentioned, is it? Like let's
how
be
much
honest,
did
unless you're
Cole
like
pay you for
super
that plug?
into it. No, but I love that. I love their YouTube channel. It's big up King Ross if you know who he is. I love him. But yeah, yeah. I mean,
Fuck him. Carry on.
what? Okay, fair
I don't
enough.
even know that. I don't even know who the guy is, but he's pissed me off already. Is that the guy who dresses up as a king on his shows, and they have all these
WCF
fancy
moments.
pantsy fuck me green screens, and they do these watch alongs where these guys sit there at 4 a.m. in the fucking morning watching WWE on their sofa, right?
You do know when I go to uni, that's what I'm going to be doing on my Twitch. So
But I'm not gonna rip you. I want to rip these guys because that's how you get attention these days, isn't it? It'll be LK on LK Live, major heat with King Ross. You watch, you watch.
Major heat with Cultaholic. Yeah. No, I'm quite. No, I've watched that stuff for years. Botchamania, Matthew from Botchamania is on there as well. You know Botchamania. He's good.
Never heard of
But
it.
yeah, I
What's
mean,
Botchamania?
you'd be inserted the YouTube channel where they show the
Yeah. No, I
messes,
was
like
just
when
joking.
people mess up and stuff, and they make comment. Oh, Christ! I was about to say, but yeah, yeah. No, this match was good. Ryu Mizunami was decent. You can tell she's been doing it for a few years. Is she like Hikaru Shida's like maternal figure or something? Because they kept going on about how like without Ryu there'd be no Hikaru Shida or something. Was she like a trainer or a manager or something to her? Or I don't know, but
Dude, I wish I could tell you. I really can't. And again,
yeah.
solid apologies there, everyone. But it's just, I don't know. I
Do you
genuinely
like
don't
how? Do you
know.
like? Do you like how Excalibur says all this stuff though, and it goes over like 95% of people watching head? It's like, oh yeah,
That's
she's
the
in this
thing. If I
company
was
in
taking notes,
1995.
if I was taking fucking notes, I could come on here and I could be the man of the knowledge. I could be like, oh, well, Sheeta born in 1982 and, blah, 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 blah. But no, I thought, I'm going to sit down and watch and enjoy the show. Unprofessional prick. Disappointed
Exactly.
in
But yeah,
myself.
I love the size difference though. We're gonna just speak surface value. So Ryu's a bit of a, I'm not gonna be rude, but a bit larger. She's a bit more meatier, a bit more beefier. Hikaru is quite a small person, so it's quite it's like a bit of a, I guess like a tough tough woman against a more agile and flexible woman, and it made quite a decent match. I love how my knowledge of this is very surface level, by the way. I
Hey,
love
that's
how
absolutely
that's
fine.
come across.
We're not coming on here claiming to be fucking experts of Japanese women's wrestling. We've never done that, never will do. But yeah, it was. I really enjoyed the match. I thought it was really good, solid stuff. They went in there and they worked hard.
It was good, yeah. I mean, I want to see more. I knew Hikaru Shida anyway because she's been in AEW for about a year now. But it's made me want to see more of Ryu Mizunami, and I guess that's a good thing, not knowing her previously to wanting to watch her now. So, yeah,
Yeah,
good showing
big win,
AEW.
big win for the women's division because now people will be curious about
I
the
will say,
women's
though, that's
division.
something that they've had wrong for a while. The women's division compared to WWE, for some reason, AEW's women division hasn't been the strongest. Um, I don't know why. They just don't really invest too much time in it, I guess, or if they do invest time, they don't have as much depth of roster as WWE. But I like that they're starting to get some of these people from outside now, like Thunder Rosa as well, who was in the opening match, and Mizunami. It's given them somewhat of a stronger division because I don't know if you agree with me on that point or not. I guess it's quite controversial, but I do think that they do need to step up their women's division a little bit. It's the one division they're lacking on, I'd say.
Yeah, 1,000%. I can agree with you on that one. It's not the lack of there's not talent there. They just haven't been used. So it's nice to see them actually getting fucking used.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, don't really know that much. I only watched Dynamite and that, but yeah, I mean, from what I've seen, they're getting a better roster now, or they're using more people now. So yeah, good on them. Good on them.
Roger that. Roger that. And then we had Miro and Kip Sabian defeating Best Friends. I thought Orange Cassidy would be a main eventer by now after all the success he had late last year and the stuff of Cody with the TNT title belt and this and that. And here he is in a feud that, in all due respects, in every respects imaginable, I could give a fuck about.
I mean, I
Don't give a
like
shit.
Miro, so that's the problem. I really like.
Oh,
It's
they
Rusev
could
to me,
put
but
they
yeah.
could put Shawn Michaels in his prime, Bret Hart, Triple H in his prime, Dwayne Johnson in his prime, all in this exact feud, and I'd still give that less of a shit. It just doesn't do it for me. It's just not my cup of tea. Not my cup of tea at all. Match finishes and it went 7 minutes, which felt longer. Miro and Kip Sabian got the win, cool, and then Miro fucked Chuck Taylor up after. What did this do? I guess it got Miro over, But what about Orange Cassidy? This guy was so fucking popular and so over, and now he's fucking lollygagging around in the fucking lower mid card.
Mm.
Poor son of a bitch.
And Miro doesn't really need to get, well, Rusev, everyone knows him as Rusev, don't they? Rusev and Miro doesn't really need to get over because people know who he is, don't they? No one, you don't watch AEW, you're going to think he's this comedy guy. And he didn't really do much comedy stuff in this match, Orange Cassidy, which I quite liked. He actually didn't put his hands in his pocket once, and he just wrestled quite normally, I thought, which is a bit odd considering how Orange Cassidy was booked beforehand.
Absolutely. And then we had Hangman Adam Page defeating Big Money Matt Hardy in a match where the winner received the losers 2021 first quarter earnings, which I fucking thought was a great, great shout. And this was a really fun match. I loved it. The ending when Dark Order came out to make the save as Private Party were getting involved because obviously they work for Matt Hardy. And it was just really good. I really enjoyed it. I thought this was really... And that's the thing. I'm coming on here and I'm saying this stuff is really good. Yeah, I didn't enjoy the Mirror and Kip Saban stuff. But everything else on this show was good. And you're telling me the show was a loss?
Yeah. I mean,
this stuff is good. This stuff is good.
I'm leaning towards a tie, but the things that did bring it down brought it down quite heavily. So, yeah, this match was all right, but I don't know what it is. But something about seeing Matt Hardy here just felt a bit bland. Like, I don't know. He's better as broken Matt Hardy. He's got something, a bit of character there. It's just like watching an ex WWE guy against a Ring of Honor talent. Just felt like to me. I guess,
I strongly disagree.
I don't watch every week. That's the problem. I think.
Okay, that's fair enough. As each to their own then. Okay,
yeah,
but man, Matt Hardy's still a big name though.
Yeah, but he is also, you know what I mean. He is a big name, I guess. But when you're thinking about like, is he going to sell out an arena? Not really. This match was good. Like, don't get me wrong, it was good. But at the same time, like, where do you think it'll go for Matt Hardy now that he's lost his earnings? Like, where do you think he'll go from here?
I mean, I think he'll. Sorry about that. I reckon he'll go back and keep doing what they're doing. As in, like, he's going to just do stuff with the Private Party. He's going to, I reckon, do stuff with the Private Party, and he's going to. I don't know. I think he's just going to do stuff with Private Party because this is the feud ender. This is the definite feud ender. So we're not going to see any more Hangman Page and Matt Hardy because the babyface won. End of feud. They're doing stuff in Impact. I don't know. I think this is more of a what are they going to do with Hangman next as well? Are they going to do Hangman versus Omega because he got the win, or is Matt Hardy going to want his revenge?
That's part of my problem with it. I don't know where it's going to go from here, which I guess is good in the respect that you're invested about it. But for something, it's just like I don't know what's going to happen. But at the same point in time, I don't think it's going to be anything too amazing what's going to happen. So I need to just. I don't know. I need something behind it. Maybe they'll do something on Being the Elite, which they tend to do. I watch Being the Elite more than All Elite Wrestling, to be honest, because Being the Elite is generally quite funny. If you watch that show, it's hilarious. And yeah, I mean, they're probably going to do something on there with him and Young Bucks, but it depends how much they can translate it to the actual main TV show. I don't really watch him on Impact. Is he doing anything that sort of good on Impact or?
I mean, he's not in ring. He's not in ring, but he is on teaming. Not teaming. He's the manager of Private Party. That's what he is. He's basically the manager of the Private Party who are doing stuff over in Impact. So he's not actually in the ring bell to bell. It's more kind of he's the manager and the promo guy, and it's just having an extra name on the show for Impact that has some form of name value.
Yeah, because I saw like Impact, like they've gone to like really small arenas now, haven't they? Like,
no, no. They're just doing their TV tapings.
Compared to TNA,
You will not come
TNA.
on here and insult TNA, Impact Wrestling, fucking whatever the fuck you want to call it, in front of me. I'm not one of these guys who are like TNA, TNA, and have fucking TNA tattooed up and down their cock. But fucking no, the company is good. It puts out good shows. It puts out good quality shows every week with good stories. And I'm so glad it's still alive and kicking. I'm not gonna say it's around and thriving, but it's around, it's kicking, and it's doing good stuff. Fucking
So
come on
give
here
it a
and bash
chance, is
Matt
what you're
Hardy.
saying.
Yeah, give it a fucking chance. I might even watch Impact live tomorrow just to spite you and do a review on it. And I hope it's the best show ever.
Right, fair enough. Fair enough. I mean, I'll watch it. I'll give it a shot, see what it does. If it does anything good, I'll say it. But if it doesn't, then I'll also say it to you. I'm not going to hide my words. But yeah, no, I mean, this match was all right. I wouldn't go past all right though. I wouldn't say it was anything that was too captivating, but it was all right. It was good enough for that.
Yeah, that's very fair analysis. And then we went on to a really good match. We had Scorpio Sky winning the Face of the Revolution ladder match, which earned a future AEW TNT Championship match. He defeated Cody Rhodes, Pentagon Jr., Lance Archer, Max Castler, and Ethan Page, who's made his debut from Impact. So appreciate Impact for the growth of Ethan Page. Obviously, he was doing good stuff before he went to Impact. But yeah, I really dug this. I thought this was a really fun match. I loved the whole Cody shoulder injury angle that they did where he got taken out. And then he came back. I thought that was great. So that, and then like him fucking fighting Ethan Page and then going, fuck it, just hits the crossroads and then sells straight away. Archer looked like a machine. Page looked great in his first show. And Castler looked good. Loved his elbow drop off the top. The Canadian Destroyer by Pentagon Jr. on the ladder. That was sick. It was really fun. I really cannot put that over enough how much I'm a big fan of this match. This is my match of the night. I'm going to go with it. My match of the night is this ladder match. I really fucking dug it. Maybe it's because I love everyone involved, but it was really good stuff. I thought everyone's character got developed a lot. What was your thoughts on the match?
Yeah, it was all right. It was a pretty standard ladder match. I thought it was pretty good. I wouldn't sort of go past there. So like the spots in it were decent. Like Lance Archer chokeslamming. I forgot if it was. I think it might have been. Was it Penta Zero M that he chokeslammed outside the ring? Yeah, the Cody Rhodes when he came back after his arm was hurt and he jumped off that ladder was pretty cool. He did the elbow drop. Yeah, I mean it was fine for what it was. It was a rib in WWE, but if you watch our classic ones, you'll understand where I'm coming from here. It wasn't horrifically bad. Like it was the brass ring, which Vince McMahon said in an interview like a couple of years ago, which is fair enough, but it's not like women Ted Turner. If you watch our normal show.
Oh yeah, if we watch it 25 years ago, there's nothing on there. They have nothing on there. $1 billion Ted.
No.
And oh man, I'm looking forward to
But you
tomorrow. I'm going to be
can,
watching the
but
Raw Nitro tomorrow.
you can tell it's going. You can tell it was done to antagonize WWE with the brass ring thing, which is fair enough. Yeah, the match was good. I wouldn't go past good, but it was good. I mean, the right guy went over. Scorpio Sky winning. He deserves a championship shot. So, Cody can get another shot at another point, as can Lance Archer. So,
So what's your problem? Right. What on this show so far? What on this show so far has been bad?
Mhm. Well, I did say the Matt Hardy match felt a bit flat. We did say that.
Okay.
And the coming up the next couple of moments that we'll talk about really dragged me down. So it was. I'd say Ty. Actually, I'm going more towards Ty because the women's championship was good. I didn't know who they were, so I didn't really have too much investment, but it was good. The Royal Rumble style match was my favourite, which was good. Royal Rumble style match was brilliant, but Royal Rumble style anything is brilliant, and Young Bucks was brilliant. But I just felt that from the opening match, the show was going further and further down. This was a slight increase up in terms of anticipation, but I just felt it was going flatter as it was going through, as opposed to it was getting more anticipated as it was going through. just felt like oh my god, I've just opened a Coke and then you've left it open for like 2 hours. Do you kind of get what I mean? It's just still nice, but it's like every minute it's getting a bit more flatter. Don't know if that's a good
Yeah,
analogy or.
yeah, I get that. I don't know, maybe because I didn't watch it live. Did you watch it live?
I watched it live, yeah.
Okay, that might
Yeah.
be the difference. See, I have the blessing of when a match finishes, I can just go plump. You have to sit there and watch it. I think it was along the lines of 220 minutes. You know, that's 3 hours and
Mm.
45.
About,
Trim the fat, and you're
about
probably
four
down for me
hours.
for about 3 hours. Yeah, you probably trim the fat.
Yeah.
I'm down to 3 hours. I was living the dream. It's like watching Raw on Hulu. It's a fucking result. Um, and fucking yeah, I enjoyed that. And then we had Christian Cage
Yeah,
come
no,
out.
this is where it went into a loss for me.
But you
And
can't say
it
this is a
shouldn't have been.
bad show because a guy came out that you were expecting fucking Honky Tonk Man and Christian Cage came out. Like fucking, it doesn't mean the
No,
show's
but I was
shit. That's the
expecting
thing. Everyone's
I was
like, "Oh,
expecting
this show
someone bigger.
sucks. This show sucks. This show sucks." Fuck off. This was good show. These guys are out there, busted their ass, put on really good wrestling matches with good story behind them. But besides the mirror tag match, I for one sat here. I was pleasantly entertained. I barely touched the skip button. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I love Christian Cage. Him coming out to the dun, 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 the TNA music popped me something fierce as soon as I saw the
I
10
didn't
and the
watch
countdown.
TNA, so I didn't
Well,
know the
that's
music.
your fault. That is your fault for not being
That's
fucking a
my fault.
Christian Cage diehard, man. He's a fucking magnificent. Shout out to
What
Impact
did you think
immediately,
though?
him coming out and uploading the
Yeah,
fucking video of Christian
yeah.
Cage's debut in TNA. That was funny as shit. They always fucking do that. But this was great. I marked out something fierce. I was like, Christian Cage, I'm fucking, yes, great, great. Come from WWE.
Yeah.
Yeah, TNA, whatever.
They
No, that's
overpromised
not.
though. They overpromised.
What do you mean they
They made it
overpromised? They
sound.
didn't overpromise. They told you stuff that's true. They said he's Hall of Famer worthy. Guess what he is? Hall of Famer worthy. They said Tony Khan said he watched him as a kid and was one of his favorite wrestlers. Edge and Christian, everyone fucking loved when they were a kid and younger. What did he lie about? What did he lie about? Did he say it's game changing? Yes, he did. Is it game changing?
Probably
Maybe.
not.
We don't know. What do you mean probably
Christian
right, dude?
Cage
You're
is not
right.
not game changing.
In your mind, to people, they go, "Oh, Christian Edge." They're seeing Edge on WTV now, and they people know Edge through Christian and Edge, the tag team from when they were younger, and people will be seeing Edge and go, "I wonder what Christian's doing," and they go on the Google, machine, and then they fucking find, and they go, "Hey, and they go, "What's Christian doing?" And they fucking type it in, and then what
You get
happens?
very
AEW
defensive.
Christian. I am
You get very
defensive. I
defensive.
fucking love Christian. I love Christian more than a straight man should. I was very happy with that surprise. And if you were upset or depressed or whatever the fuck you were over a legend like Christian coming in who's going to be having bangers with these guys,
I
fuck
was
you.
just disappointed. I was just
What were
no, I
you
wasn't
right?
disappointed.
So what were you expecting? Brock Lesnar, fucking CM Punk,
Yes.
fucking
No,
Christian.
legitimately, yes. I was expecting Brock Lesnar.
Well,
Like
that's
I
your
was
fault for
expecting
setting
someone
the
with
bar too high. Hall of Fame worthy.
yeah. Oh yeah, fair. I get that. I get that. But I was expecting like a big like, oh my god, you need to go from WWE to this now kind of thing. And Christian's just like, oh. I mean it's good. But the thing is, like, if he hadn't announced it, if he had just said nothing and Christian came out at the end, wouldn't that have been better than setting the expectation?
Yeah, but it wouldn't have got the buzz, which was the part of it. Now Christian looks like a big fucking deal to the casual fans.
Yeah, I guess. I guess. I mean, it depends what he's doing as well, because he can't really do much, can he? I mean, he's not wrestled for what going on 7 years now, bar the one spot in Royal Rumble.
Yeah,
So
and
I
he
don't
looked
know
great
how
in the
well
Rumble.
he did, yeah. But he had a concussion, didn't he? A really really terrible uh, concussion. So I don't know how well he'll do in singles matches. Do you reckon they're going to use him every week, or do you reckon they're just going to use him on big shows? Because I don't know how they're going to do it.
Now, from what I read about what Dave Meltzer said, is that he wanted to wrestle every week. Well, not every week, but he wanted to wrestle a lot. Apparently, he had
All
like a
right.
contract with Tony Khan, where he said to Tony Khan that he wants to He wants to wrestle all these guys, which is great. Christian in a match is a draw. I'm sorry if they announce the first Christian Cage one-on-one match since 2014, that's a big fucking deal. Lots of people check it out. When it's a game, when it does turn out to be a game changer, and when we do come on and we look at the TV ratings and they're higher, you can come on here and you could say, "I, Brad, unlike Dave Melt's, going to come on here and admit I was wrong and buy Christian Cage merch."
No, I'm waiting. I'm waiting until like Sting is a bigger star than Christian. Sting would have been the game changer. I'm
Really?
waiting for
Back
like
in, but
someone.
Sting hasn't been, in all due respect to Sting, he hasn't been a big star since like 1997. Christian was a big star back in, the Attitude Era.
Sting was big
Then,
in 2014.
yeah, that's true. Actually, yeah, that's true. That's true. I
Seth
don't know. I
Rollins,
just see
Triple H.
Christian at this point in
Yeah,
his career being away from wrestling for so long and people wanting him back for so long. How many times at WrestleMania this season do we get, oh, is Christian going to go in the Hall of Fame? Like that, get that a lot. Like, I, for one, think it's a good decision. I'm very happy with it. I really
it'll be
enjoyed
all
it.
right. Yeah, my is it'll be all right, but it's not. It's not as game changing as Paul White said it would be. I mean, it might add a couple of interests for like 2 or 3 weeks, but it's not going to change it in the long run. I think I'm waiting for like someone big to come in, and I know someone will. And I feel that it'll be like Randy Orton or someone huge will actually come in, proper megastar level will come in. Christian isn't that, but he is good. But I've got a feeling that they're gonna do this again. That they'll say another good big guy's gonna come in, and it'll be someone else that's sort of around that level. Maybe like I don't know, Kurt Angle or something, which would be like fine. But then when someone huge comes in, they'll say it, and it'll be a boy cry wolf moment. And until they go, oh my god, they're actually not sort of underselling it now. They're overselling it now. This is huge kind of reaction, and I'm waiting for that person. And I don't know who it is, but I know it's going to come. I know the only two people that have been like that really have been Jericho and Moxley. I think them two
Yeah,
were.
that's fair.
And
That's fair.
yeah,
That's fair.
so I'm waiting for. I thought it'd be someone of that level, so I'm waiting for that, and I hope they do get it at some point, and I know they will. The thing is I know they actually will. I'm just waiting for it. If that makes
Yeah,
sense.
that's fair. Yeah, that's very fair.
Mm-hmm.
I reckon. Yeah, I reckon just that one big, big superstar, and then they're off to the
Which is
races.
what
And
I thought. Which is what I thought it was going to be.
okay,
Which is, can you see why I was a bit like, meh? No.
yeah, that's fair. That's fair enough. That's fair enough. That's fair enough. Then we had Darby Allin and Sting defeat Team Taz in this street fight cinematic experience, which was fun as
Match of the
shit.
night for me.
Yeah, it was
Match.
fun.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't. I don't classify as I don't star rate cinematic matches because it's taped and it's so easy to just. It probably took a day to just really properly do, but Sting really worked.
Mm-hmm.
He bumped around. He did good stuff. Darby Allin's a crazy motherfucker. I just even at the
When he jumped from
start when
like
they're when he
three
does the
stories up.
dives. Yeah,
Yeah.
fucking crazy motherfucker. Even like when they fucking got in the car and they rock and roll to Darby Allin's song and they come in and Cage and Starks are in this
Yeah.
fucking Renault, whatever the fuck it was really fucking nice sports car. And it was just
Uh-huh.
a fight. It was a brawl. It was great. Sting got the win. I want to see Sting in a wrestling match. I know it's bad, but I
Not gonna
reckon on
happen.
TNT it might happen. He took some bumps in there, man. The ring may have been extra padded, but he can
Brian
go in
Cage
there
did
and bump around.
powerbomb in it. Not in this match, but Brian Cage just powerbombed him on AEW.
Yeah, exactly. So he can take more bumps. I don't know. It's a tough one.
I don't want to see him if he's gonna get himself like really hurt though. That's what's the worry. I mean, this match is it's like what they did with Undertaker.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, I'd rather see him in matches like this where we know he's not going to get hurt, rather than him go out and actually end up getting hurt, because that will be fucking terrible.
Mm-hmm. Like what happened with Seth Rollins, which basically cost him his career until this point, which
Yeah,
was
exactly
really
that.
unsafe. I'm hoping that they don't do something stupid like that, and I do trust that they won't. And these cinematic matches do work, and it means that people can have longer careers as well. They don't have to be doing crazy shit and actually hurting themselves. They can take safer. Well, just it's not really wrestling, is it? It's more stunts at this point. But yeah, they could do safer
Yeah,
stunts
pretty
and
much acting.
make films. Yeah, well, it's what wrestling is basically. So Yeah.
Pretty
I
much.
see how it connects to the cinematic aspect of it quite well.
100%. And then we had the Kenny Omega defending the AEW World Championship against
God,
Jon
this
Moxley in the
match.
exploding
It was
barbed wire
good.
death
It
match.
was good, but that explosion was like no, that explode. You could picture like a band standing in that sort of an explosion for a concert. I was expecting like Terry Funk Onita. I mean, the only reason I did expect that is because I did watch that match before watching this. I was like, oh my god, are they going to do something as mental as that? The actual bits where they were in barbed wire, yeah, it was. It was crazy. The bits where they were hitting explosions on the ring ropes, yeah, it was. It was mental. But the blimmin' little at the end, I was just like,
Yeah,
that's what
it did fuck it
that
up. Yep, I agree.
that noise to end the show with. If you're making that sort of noise after seeing Christian going, I was expecting for bigger. And then you see this, it's like, oh, I was expecting like a huge explosion. Like I don't know, it sucked the energy from me, and that's sort of where my negativity comes into it a bit. Like the match itself was brilliant, but they advertised it as something this huge, dangerous match, and I don't obviously want to see people get hurt. Like that's not the point. But when you are going to say, oh, the ring's going to explode, the whole arena's going to be like in flames and shit, you're expecting it to be a bit more than just a little, you know what I mean, a little firework. Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah, like you're saying, the match is good. The match is really good, but the ending just kind of killed it. And what I think was worse is that
Mm.
Eddie Kingston, and this is not a knock on him, and he sold it as if it was this big explosion. If
Getting
Eddie
gently just
Kingston
knocked
kind of
out.
like, yeah, if Eddie Kingston got up and like laughed, then I don't think that we'd even be talking about it. We'd be like, oh no, no, because Tony Khan on the post media call said that what basically happened is, because Kenny Omega
It
created
was
the
an
match.
actual fuck up, by the way.
Of course it was.
He is covering it up by doing that on the post call. It wasn't meant to happen. It was meant to be a huge explosion, but it just wasn't.
Yeah, but they could
So
have
yeah.
covered it by literally doing that, saying that Omega made the match. But obviously, if it's on the fly, it's hard to do, and Kingston's just doing his job. But yeah,
Mm.
these two went to war. So take the ending out, you got a really fucking good match. The run-ins were a
Mm.
bit like fuck off. Like I didn't appreciate the run-ins at the end with the
Well,
Good
from Gallows
Brothers.
and Anderson. Yeah.
Yeah, that was like fuck off. But besides that, I really enjoy the Kenny Omega and Don Callis not rivalry pairing that they got going on. I think it's great. And I really enjoyed Jon Moxley as well. So I thought the match itself was great, and I loved how they started off. It was like quite kind of teasing the barbed wire, and then bam, once they hit it, it kind of meant more. Moxley, great
Mm.
blade job, great blade job. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a really, really good match. Just I agree with you, the ending was shit. But besides that, this show was good. I'm gonna give it's a weak win because the finish was shit, and I can get why people would be disappointed with Christian Cage. But the tag title match kick off the show was very good. The Casino Tag Royal was
Mm.
very good. The women's match was good. Paige Hardy was all
Yeah.
right. Sky Ladder match
You've
was
convinced
great.
me to go to a tie. You've convinced me to go from a tie from a loss. So yeah.
Hopefully that's what's going to happen. People are going to listen to this show and go, actually, yeah, I'm angry because of a guy who came out and a fucked finish which was out of their control.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. But I think it's been a learning. I'm going to say this about AEW. I hope this is a learning thing for them. I hope they do learn. Like they start not promising and not promoting as heavily or as much with things because under promote over deliver rather than over promote under deliver is probably the
Yeah,
best
that's very fair because
message.
TNA did used to do that. They used to go game changing, blah, 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 all the time. And it was to the point where they would do it and you just wouldn't believe them. So you just wouldn't tune in because, oh, yeah, they said that last week and it was fucking match type. You know what I mean? And so that, yeah, they
Mm-hmm.
do need to be careful of that line because you can use that line once or twice, but when people start to see through it, they'll be like, yeah, I'm just not even going to bother wasting my time. And it's only then when it's the good stuff. So they just got to be careful. But anything else you want to add before we rock this bad
Yeah,
boy out? Because
sure. Do you want the matches for this Wednesday? Well, what's been announced?
yeah, go on, go run through the matches for this Wednesday.
So you got Hikaru Shida, Ryo Mizunami, and Thunder Rosa versus Dr. Britt Baker, Maki Ito, and Rebel. I don't know who Rebel is, but Rebel as well. And she was the guy. She was the girl on the crotch, wasn't she? Rebel. I
Yeah,
think.
with Ito and Britt Baker.
Yes, yeah, the one on the crotch. Matt Jackson versus Ray Phoenix, which sounds cool.
Should be great. Should be very, very good.
And Darby Allin versus Scorpio Sky for the TNT Championship is also this Wednesday, which looks pretty good.
Absolutely, 100%. Looking forward to that show. Going to be covering that. Maybe I might even stay up and watch it live. Who fucking knows? Might watch it live and then do a live review straight after it airs here. So I want to thank everyone for watching this show. If you're watching on YouTube on the SOS Wrestling Network, whether you're listening to it on the audio podcast version, or hopefully, the more we do it, the more the word gets out. You guys will be doing it live on Podbean. So if you literally just download the Podbean app, it's completely free. You can sign up completely free. You guys can listen to the show
If
live.
I can manage it, you can.
Yeah, literally. If Brad can do it, anyone can. So literally, you can fucking and we have a call-in option. You can either just choose to watch the show. We have a live chat room, which you guys, if you do not feel like you're comfortable with having your voice on the show, you can type and ask questions, as well as you can literally call in. We'll answer the call. We'll be nice.
10 people came in on this one.
What was that?
Reading here. About 10 people came in, including you, which does say your name, me, and Sports Talk came in. So thank you for listening to Sports Talk.
I agree, and then there'll be other people who haven't got an account. That's what the other people's will be. I'll be able to see post live. But yeah, we got 10 people in the live chat for the first show. I'll take. We got a little stepping stone, and we can work on that. But hopefully, we get to the point where we have regular callers in. And my plan of attack is to do these where obviously I cover Japanese wrestling with Dion or Daily Perezzo, which we always do, which will obviously be uploaded on the YouTube. Just go subscribe over there, and we do the 25 years ago. Should we just stick to doing 25 years ago how we do it, and then just keep up, or would you rather it be live? Well, what are you feeling?
I think for 25 years, because of all the research that goes in, and also because we need to actually talk about planning the next ones, we'll do that sort of not recorded, because I am going to
how we normally do it. Yeah, I agree.
Stuff. Yeah, to do that. But I think for these normal shows, it's fine.
Yeah, and I think LK Live as well.
I'm not going to obviously say your name, but you do need to change your username, as it does say your actual name on here.
That is very true. I very much appreciate that. Well, thank you guys so much for coming on, wherever you're watching that. Thank you guys for watching. Stay safe, stay well, and we'll be catching your asses down the line.
Goodbye.